What is up and welcome to another edition of Worth a Watch with me, Anthony Flores. This is going to be my review for Red 2, starring Bruce Willis, John Malkovich, Mary-Louise Parker, Byung-Hun Lee, Catherine Zeta-Jones, with Anthony Hopkins and Helen Mirren. Pretty damn awesome cast right there, if I do say so myself. Character Frank Moses, played by Bruce Willis, is just trying to lead a normal life, and then in comes John Malkovich's character, basically saying people are gonna hunt us down very, very soon, and you need to run. And this, of course, interrupts his whole life and just brings him thrusting back into the whole agent mode set of mind, and everything takes off from here. Especially the main portion of just trying to find this bomb weapon. And as cliched as that sounds, and I think that's probably the biggest negative of this film, a lot of this film does play on the formulaic cliche of trying to look for a weapon, trying to stop it from being activated, but someone ends up unfortunately activating it, but then everything just kind of happens kind of from there. But with a nice enough fresh twists and turns that are in here, I definitely say it was not boring whatsoever. There was some nice suspenseful moments, some great action comedic moments, and that's the biggest positives and redeeming qualities this movie has. As cliched as it can get, because it did bother me a handful of times, especially in the middle of the second act, give or take, and maybe a bit of the third act, where it just kind of kept doing that, and I was just like, no, you could do a little bit more of a freshen up ideas for that kind of thing to go down here in this particular scene. But again, I don't want to give anything away, especially when it comes to certain characters in the film. But overall, everyone did a really great job. The chemistry amongst all the actors was really, really superb here. You got Bruce Willis acting unlike in Good Day to Die Hard, where he was basically fucking sleepwalking throughout that entire film, and he was being a badass once again. John Malkovich, neurotic and crazy. Got ourselves a good acting performance right there. Mary-Louise Parker, fresh off of Weeds and whatnot, she's pretty solid herself. She was very funny in this film, especially between her and Catherine Zeta-Jones' rivalry. And Catherine Zeta-Jones, yeah, I completely forgot how hot she is. Where the fuck has she been? But aside from that, she had a nice role in here as well. And Byung-Hun Lee, one of the better things about the first G.I. Joe movie and the second one, the guy's a badass. The guy can kick some serious ass. He kicks Bruce Willis around and they fight back, and it's pretty damn crazy and awesome at the same time. Especially for action fans, those scenes fucking deliver really well. And we got Anthony Hopkins playing a really absent-minded and mentally kind of off person in this film, but he is the creator of that weapon they're trying to hunt down. They need his help, and that's where his role comes in. And for the most part, he did a really good job as well. I didn't have any complaints with him either. It's Anthony Hopkins. Helen Mirren with a gun. That image, the handful of newcomers that are in here, such as Neil McDonough, who is also one of the villains, fucking insane. Just as crazy as anybody else in this film. And very violent and just very, very hardcore in his and what he's got to do in this film. And we got Brian Cox returning, basically in an extended cameo, who's basically the love interest to Helen Mirren's character, Victoria. And their little witty banter between each other is also really nice to see. So overall, in general, the positives are, it's a fun action comedy, as cliched as it can get, which did kind of bother me here and there. I enjoyed it for the ride it was. I had a good time with this film. I really cannot wait to see it again, and I just enjoyed it. I really loved it. I definitely think it's a little bit better than the first one. If you enjoyed the first one, you'll definitely love this one. And if you didn't like the first one, more than likely you're just going to say meh and skip this one. But I definitely say check it out in the theater if you're a fan of the first Red, and have a good time with it. I definitely think it's worth, at the very least, a matinee price. And my final rating is a solid 9 out of 10. And that should do it for my review of Red 2. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to comment below, like, subscribe, and all that other good stuff in between. So until next time, I'm Anthony Flores with Worth a Watch, and keep going to the movies.